Now I'm going to move to the UK entrepreneur visa, and this is where I'm going to dig deeper into the initial visa application, the extension, and then your indefinite leave to remain after having gone through the Tier 1 visa. The reason behind it is the UK is one of the most attractive cities for entrepreneurship within Europe. So, and I understand there's lots of interest in the UK specifically. The Tier 1 entrepreneur visa was launched in 2008. It replaced a Tier 1 general visa, which was aimed at international skilled migrants who would like to set up a business or work in the UK. Now, they've stopped the initial visa, and they've introduced the Tier 1 entrepreneur visa aimed at foreign entrepreneurs specifically. There are two minimum investment requirements. One is the £200,000, which is the money coming from your own money, basically, family, friends' money. So if you can provide show a proof that you have access to £200,000 of investment funds, this is one of the major requirements you're fulfilling for the UK. Whereas for the £50,000, it could be from a venture capital regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, by a government department in the UK, or by a startup a seed camp, basically endorsed by the UK Trade and Investment. This is for the £50,000. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, and basically because they've closed down on some visa routes, this Tier 1 entrepreneur visa got abused by many international students who are looking for an opportunity to stay in the UK. So many people, whether genuine entrepreneurs or not, went for the Tier 1 entrepreneur visa by just providing the access to funds and a business plan, and ended up being rejected. So in 2013, we made a research about the success rate in this specific visa category, and we saw a refusal rate of 50% in the initial application and 75% in the extension application. This means the government had to had to tackle this major problem, because there's no point behind creating an entrepreneur visa route for non-entrepreneurs. So they've introduced the genuine entrepreneur test, which is an interview being made by every entrepreneur to prove that they're genuine, that they understand their business, and that they're really intending to create the business and develop it in the UK. Also, the downside of the genuine entrepreneur test is sometimes you're being interviewed by non-business experts. So they're not investment, let's say, people who work on investment funds or on investing in startups, so it might be tricky. However, if you're a genuine entrepreneur, you should be fine if you are able to prove that there's a genuine business idea and there's the money there for you to invest it all in the business. The duration of the resident permit is 3 years, and it's renewable, and after 5 years on a Tier 1 entrepreneur, you can apply for the indefinite leave to remain. So there's a route towards permanent residency in the UK. Processing time is an average of 15 days, but then it can go up to more than 15 days based on the requirements that are fulfilled. Yes, next please. Now for the visa extension, after having spent the first 3 years trying to develop your business and investing the money you've allocated initially into the business, you can extend your visa application if you prove that all the money that was initially allocated was invested in the business. And this should not include any personal income, for example. Also, you should have hired 2 full-time jobs for 12 months each within the first 3 years. So these are specific terms, but for people who are interested in the UK, I'm not sure, how many of you are interested in the UK as a destination? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Come and talk to me after the session, or to Josephine, because we can connect you to to lawyers for specific question. I'm not going to bore the other of you, so I'm going to go quickly through the UK, but then that's it mainly. You have to have created 2 full-time jobs, invested the money, and register as a director of the business within the 6 months of getting the visa application. Processing time around 8 weeks, but you should be fine if all are fulfilled. Now, for those interested in the UK again, for you to apply for the indefinite leave to remain, it shouldn't be an issue. After having extended your visa for another 2 years, you get 5 years in the UK, you can apply for the ILR with no specific conditions, because as long as you've extended your visa, this means that you've created the jobs and you've invested the money. However, you shouldn't have spent out of the UK 180 days per year. So this is the major requirement. And this is a lot of time, actually. It's 5 months a year. So if you're a genuine entrepreneur and you're really looking into setting a business in the UK, it shouldn't be an issue at all. And now there's an expedited route. If hopefully your business proves to be very successful and you manage to get a turnover of £5 million, and this is not a profit, just like a revenue, or have hired 10 new members, if not the turnover, you can apply for the ILR after 3 years only. You don't have to wait for 5 years. But yeah, life in London is good. Life in the UK is nice, so I don't think anyone wants an expedited route to ILR. I think we're good. Yeah, and then after having received the indefinite leave to remain, 12 months in the UK, and then you can become a British citizen. You can apply for the naturalization. That's it for the UK. I'm going to go quickly through the Irish and the Dutch startup visa because they offer interesting programs for startups as well. In Ireland, they've introduced in 2012 the Irish Startup Entrepreneur Program, which was also reviewed in May 2015. Like Italy, they require a minimum capital of 50,000 euros. And then, but there's 3 main requirements. The business shouldn't have been existing for more than 6 years. And then you should show in your business plan that you aim to create at least 10 jobs in Ireland and realize £1 million within 3 to 4 years. You'll get a residency period of 2 years. Sorry. I would say, not my picture. But so yeah, you should have realized £1 million within, not realized, you intend to realize £1 million within 3 to 4 years in Ireland. You also get your visa renewed if you have managed to create those jobs and to create a minimum revenue. And the processing time is around 15 days maximum. Yes, thank you. As for the Dutch startup permit, it was launched just recently, this year, January 2015. There's no minimum capital requirements. You just have to go and present your business. If you manage to, also you have to get the help of a local expert. So when they look at your application and your business plan, they should see a proof that you've worked with a local advisor. A local advisor could be anyone who has worked on business plans and startups, a startup incubator, an investment fund, whatever it is, but they have to provide proof that they have the expertise to provide you with the support as a startup. After having your business application approved, you will be referred to Startup Delta, which is the Dutch committee for the evaluation of startup visas. You get a resident permit of 1 year, which is renewable as well. And the current estimate is 7 weeks, which is almost up to 90 days maximum for the Dutch startup permit. I think I know this is not a very sexy topic, immigration, but for any entrepreneur in the room here, I think this is interesting to you because it gives you your options to the world. Because I know entrepreneurs don't like to be limited by a space or a country. You'd like just to solve problems and go abroad. So I hope I've communicated the right information. In any case, these are my personal details and my email, Josephine's email. Please get in touch for any help. What we do as Migrate is we provide you with lots of support and free information. However, more than that, we connect you to immigration experts in every destination. So it doesn't end here. If you require further assistance, if you require an application, support, someone who can handle the whole application for you, you come to us and we vet our lawyers. So we have a network of qualified legal experts around the world almost that can help you with your application process. So please come and talk to us at the end or reach out to us. And I think we're going to open it for, yes, Josephine has a note, and then we can move to the Q&A session. If you have any questions, we can try to answer them. Josephine? Yeah.
Just wanted to have a few words because there's a few things I wanted to add. Okay, so back to Spanish. You don't have to speak Spanish, just the documents. So you don't have to teach Spanish or whatever. You just need to get someone to write your business plan in Spanish, and it has to be a regulated translator. Quickly, and then I'll get your question. French. This is not taxed. Italy wants businesses that want to do made in Italia. So you're looking at fashion, you're looking at arts, if you want to apply to the program. And they're mostly academics and people that teach entrepreneurship that review business plans. So if you're presenting a really good business plan, there's high chances you can get in. That I don't know. UK tier 1. You really want to go to the UK because this is a nightmare to get. And they especially ask you for that amount of money when you might not need it. It's just a bit ridiculous. There's a new visa. There's a new visa for startups. It's called Tech Nation. Just started this November in the UK. So if you want to start a company, and I would say if you want to work for a startup, that's a program you might want to apply to. We can talk about it after. So visa extension, Irish, yeah, we know. Irish is really easy to get in. It's like if you're part of startup boot camps, if you don't need to prove much money, even though 50K is a lot, but you don't have to prove that you've created jobs, and they're very flexible, and it's easy for you to recruit foreigners to work for your startups. That's a good thing to know because in the UK it's a nightmare to recruit someone who's not from the EU. For the Dutch one, yeah, 90 days. Count 90 days to get it. There was a question here. Yes.
Yeah, for Spanish visa, you need business plan or someone expert need officially make you a business plan to apply to the visa?
The business plan should be in Spanish because it has to be vetted by the government experts. If you really need support with a business plan, there's lots of experts that can help you with the business plan. But it can be created by you, but then you need the Spanish aspect of it. Again, you don't have to speak Spanish, but it has to be written in Spanish.
Your business has to be in the interest of Spain. You have to show clear economic interest for them. There was a company that applied that does cigarettes, you know, the electronic cigarettes. The government refused, even though it was an amazing business plan, right? Making a lot of money. They didn't see the benefits for Spain. So you really want to check with an expert or before.
Hi. In those visas whereby you're referring to tech visas, are these like technology-oriented entrepreneurship? So it has to be like technology-oriented.
Strengthen the tech innovation in those European. They're all competing for tech people and to have a startup scene within their cities. However, it shouldn't demotivate you from applying. What kind of business are you asking about specifically? Yes, usually it's tech. No, you can, but for example, I would say food tech or fashion tech. It could be anything, but if it can be through an app or through a website or anything tech related. But I don't think it's like 100% confirmed that it has to be tech. Tech Nation, yes, in the UK. This is more specific. You can tell more. You know more about the Tech Nation.
Let's continue. I'm sorry. I just want to. I want to speak. Most startup visa, entrepreneur visa have been created for tech, so they'll be likely to say yes. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't apply for a self-employed visa, which exists, right? There are other visas. The short answer is that in 2 years, European is trying to make it easier for workers to start an entrepreneurial activity with their work visa. So the short answer is not only tech. Tech is easier to get money and to pass through and get a fast track process because this is shiny and government wants to show that they're doing something about it.
Let me just add. So today we're focusing on the entrepreneur visas. So this is aimed at young entrepreneurs, people with ideas, but limited budget. However, each of those countries have an investor route. So if you'd like to set up a business, whatever it is, there's a place for you, but there's a much higher capital. So the UK, they've increased the minimum capital for investor visas from £1 million to £2 million. So you can go for the investor visas, but that's a huge jump from £200,000. So that's the thing. So the tech-oriented startup programs, yes, but then you have an investor visa. You have the self-employed visa as well in Germany, and this is for any industry. But you have options. Also, you have the citizenship by investment route that we haven't discussed today, but if there's anyone interested in this route where you invest for the purpose of getting the residency or citizenship in European countries, Central Caribbean countries, we can also give more information about this. And this route allows you to go for businesses other than tech businesses. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, what would you say are they're mostly targeted towards seed? At which level of the startup are they targeted?
Mostly at the creation and growth. At the very, it really depends actually. But for example, in Italy, it's it should be less than 6 years, and it's at the creation and growth stage rather than at the Series A or B level probably. But then, as long as you're a business and you're really looking to invest in the city and contribute to the economy, they'll be more than happy to have you. And if you're going to create jobs, that's even a better requirement. Yeah?
Without any reference to any specific country, but I mean, once you go there and you establish your business, be it in Ireland or UK or whatever, what are the benefits that you get as an entrepreneur launching the business in that specific country? Are there like tax exemptions? Do you have to comply with all the local regulations? How does it go? I mean, is there like some specifications that you have to go by? Is there like sets of rules? How does it work?
I think for me, the first thing is the access to the local innovation ecosystem. So you're just getting a lot from the people around you. And that's why many people are interested in Europe. But Josephine gave an example earlier that, for example, in France, the 12,500 euros for 6 months is not taxable. So there are other specific... yeah. No, not really. No, you're just functioning as another business. But it would go for every startup visa program. I cannot generalize, but yeah, 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 for the company. Yeah.
So you're asking if there's anything done for the entrepreneurs past the visa, right? Specifically. France, as we said, is exempting of tax for this one, and they're giving you a battery of a welcome pack. So they'll give you like a Pass Navigo, like access to accommodation and incubator. Spain has a specific law for startups now. It's not just because you are a foreigner. So they have a tax break and they have a system. Italy too. Netherlands is, the Netherlands is welcoming you with a mentor and support network of mentors. And the UK doesn't do anything. No, they have a great. That's it. But most visas in Europe come with a bit of like welcoming pack with them. Not in the UK though. And to answer your question about early stage startups, so early stage startups, you want to go to France because they give you money. You want to go to maybe Spain because it's the one most fast-track, straightforward process and very transparent. And that's it, because after you need 50K. You need 50K minimum, and then you don't want to take that risk.
Tara, if someone wants to come to Lebanon, how do they get visa to come here?
I was giving the same session at the UK Lebanon Tech Hub, and the organizers over there were like, wait, are you really promoting asking people to go abroad and set up businesses? And we're trying to bring them. And I'm there at their center giving a session for people to go abroad. So, Jean, people like you that are very talented are very most welcomed in Lebanon. But it's not really about also going abroad. It's about having a business here, but also branching out abroad and brain circulation. This is what I always focus on, is about education and just improving yourself so you can contribute better to your economy.
Thank you for an amazing workshop, because it opened your eyes to expanding, especially if you want to target a bigger global audience. You didn't talk about the US. I'm sure that this is the hardest part to get there. But actually, my startup is a registered company in Delaware. Okay, in Delaware. So we are registered as a US company in Delaware. How, I mean, does it make it easier, or is there a way that we can access, in the US?
So, fortunately and unfortunately for the is there any American in the room? Okay, so I can joke about them a lot now. The fact that there's Americans and Lebanese having the same challenges with the visa makes me feel so good. Like, finally, we are somewhere where, so no, as an American company or as an American in general, you still have to go through the same visa process, unless you're going through an incubator or a seed camp. Yes. Any more questions? Well, you have our email addresses, and please feel free to come and ask us questions or reach out later on, and we'll be, sorry? Yes, I'll take your email address and send them to you.
Just want to ask a quick question. How many of you are interested in an entrepreneur visa or going abroad to start a business? Raise your hand. Right. What is it? The UK, Italy, France? Where is it? Who's here for France? Okay. Who's here for the UK? Yes! Who's here for Spain? Okay. And who's here for any other country? I didn't say Italy. Italy, another country. US? Yeah. Okay. We're more than happy. Yeah, we have experts everywhere in Europe and the US to help you. But if it's a general information question, you can come to us. Thank you very much.